Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino, a night of feel-good classic and pure musical escape. Yacht rock cover band Yachtly Crew comes to Emerald Queen Casino August 15th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, seatbelts save lives. Remember to always buckle up when you drive. And by Jack in the Box, get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. Game 2 of 4, Mariners winning last night here inside Camden Yards. Lefty on the mound today for the Orioles. So here's what the right-handed version of the Mariners lineup looks like. Victor Robles batting leadoff for the first time this year. And you look at the Mariners, how much they've turned things around in recent time against lefties. Robles is certainly a piece of that puzzle. Julio Randy and the Nailer, a slight change just a few moments ago. Rosarena moved to the DH spot. He was originally in left field. He flips with Rev Snyder, who now puts on a glove tonight and is in left. Wisdom Garver doing the catching. Colt Emerson out of the lineup once again. J.P. Crawford on the injured list. So Young at shortstop and Bliss at second base. Orioles have taken the field. Trevor Rogers, who was magnificent last year and just under 20 starts, Siphon. It has been a real struggle this season so far.
He was so good last year, 110 innings, and he had a 1.8 ERA. This year it's not the same, 6.29 ERA. But you mentioned what the Mariners have done against lefties of late. I think this is a good matchup for Trevor Rogers. He's a guy who has really struggled with 2 strike counts, putting hitters away. We'll see what he's going to show tonight. The four seam. A little bit more of the sinker of late. Throws that change up to righties, and the sweeper has been a good weapon to some of these left-handed hitters, but it has been a struggle in 2026.
Yeah, he's been stung by the late inning as well, so it'll be something to monitor today for the Mariners against Rogers on the mound. In center field, the former Mariner, albeit for a brief period of time, Leody Taveras, and a former Mariner farmhand, Tyler O'Neill, who was off last night, is in right field. Promising young middle of the infield for the Orioles, Henderson and Holiday. Colby Mayo over at third today. Pete Alonso, the big free agent prize for the Orioles at first. Sam Huff catching once again. Adley Rutschman is out of the lineup for the second straight game. It has been a real turnaround for the Mariners against lefties. May 25th, why that date? That's when the 8-game winning streak began for the Mariners. We saw the Mariners really take it to some lefties in Sacramento to begin that win streak. And Hyphen, they've been top 10 in baseball. Average, OPS, WRC plus. It's been a really about face for the Mariners in this regard.
Yeah, and I mean, getting Victor Robles back, who's getting a chance to lead off today, I think that helps, especially if they're going to be platooning like they have been. But yeah, you mentioned that series down against the Athletics. You had that rookie Gage jump starting that game. It was tough really to figure out what they're going to see. And then Jeffrey Springs, a couple tough lefties, and they took care of business. It's been good since then.
Mariners winning last night. A very close and exciting game late. Well, this ball is really lifted out to deep left center field. This is at the wall, and the catch is made by Cowser. His glove pressed up against the fence. Robles allowed first out.
Yeah, all the way up against the fence. Colton Cowser, we saw him in center field last night. Just timing that thing up against the Budweiser sign out there. Yeah, nice catch. We saw a lot of that last night too. I mean, with that game, obviously it was a crazy one, but a lot of deep fly balls. Nothing to show for it.
One out here is Julio. He pops this up. Alonso, first baseman, makes the catch. Quickly 2 away. Yeah, Rogers an ERA close to 6.5 on the season. Not striking many out. Opposing teams batting over 280 against him. Missed some time this year on the injured list with the flu. He had kind of some mixed results this year, but overall the numbers have not been good for a guy who had a very strong showing last year.
Yeah, it was amazing what he was able to do last year. He came over a couple years ago in a big trade from the Miami Marlins, and they essentially sent him down. He was the big trade piece at the deadline. Really struggled. Was sent down to AAA, and then last year, man, what a bounce back. He got way stronger in the offseason. The velocity shot up. But watching him this year, even that last start, he went 5 2/3, just gave up the run, but still, even in that game, just struggling to put hitters away with two strikes.
A hard line drive, and it's caught by Gunnar Henderson. 106 off the bat by Randy. So the Mariners hit one to the wall, caught, and a screamer to short, caught. Our Steel scoreboard, 0-0 early on.
Is right for you.
The lineup tonight for the Orioles, Taylor Ward leading things off. He DHs tonight for the O's. Henderson and Alonso. It's a pretty tough 1-2-3 in that regard. Kowser batting cleanup. Leody Taveras once again hitting fifth. Tyler O'Neill, who was off last night, in right field and bats eighth. Logan Gilbert is on the mound tonight for the Mariners. He's pitched so well on the road this year and pitching well overall this season. An ERA of 3.79. Ward goes after the first pitch and slaps it into right field for a base hit. He shoots 97 the opposite way. Base runner immediately for the Orioles. Our KeyBank key stats. The Orioles this year, some pretty noticeable splits, home and road offense. At home, they've been essentially a top 10 lineup. On the road, more middle of the pack. You can see the WRC plus. Remember, 100 is league average. At home, 12% better than league average, and on the road, slightly below. So I guess this is not the best place to be catching the Orioles, but Mariners will be seeing them back at T-Mobile Park not long from now.
See, I mean, looking at that makes sense, right? I mean, especially in this ballpark, the ball can fly out of here. You know, we talked about the changes in the fence at left field, but just back to Logan Gilbert, too. When we talk about those home and road splits, it is wild how different it is. The biggest thing that stands out for Logan is really the home runs he's given up at home compared to on the road. All but one.
Logan with a .94 ERA on the road this year. If I told you that there was part of a split, home or road, that Logan was a sub-1 ERA, you would absolutely say it was at
home.
But not the case.
100%. It's crazy. I mean, I took a little bit of a bigger look. I talked about the home runs, but you know, the hard hit rate at home is around 49%. On the road, it's 41%. More ground balls on the road. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
2 balls and 2 strikes. .99 from Logan. We saw 97, 98. That in and of itself is pretty hot for Logan, but a 99 that time. Wow. Technically 98.7, but who's counting? That's some of the biggest velocity we've seen in a long time from Logan Gilbert. Julio cutting to his right. Right there, a little leaping catch. One away.
One thing I have noticed with Logan Gilbert, especially the last 3 to 4 starts, the use of the split has gone up a ton for Logan Gilbert. More fastball heavy as well. But you look at the last 4 starts for him, the split's up around 20% now, 46% with 2 strikes. I love the fact, I know he went to that changeup, trying to do some weak contact on the ground, but good to see that split coming back to life.
You don't see a ton of swings like that from Pete Alonso. Slider gets a whiff, 0-1. Big free agent contract for Alonso to leave New York and come to Baltimore. 13 home runs for the first baseman. Oh boy, watch out. That bat is really flying.
Over the netting. Oh, and a Mariners fan.
Now we're talking. Yeah, that's yours, sir. You you hold on to that as long as you can.
Where's he going?
Or just give it up immediately.
Hold on to that thing.
See, Mariner fans perpetually gracious.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind-hearted souls. He's saying now, hey,
he's
Pete,
rubbing his hands.
What can we get for this? What are we thinking?
He's trying to make eye contact with him too.
Now, power is literally in your hands, sir. You just wait.
I think he was talking to someone in the Mariners dugout. Maybe they were trying to do some negotiating for Pete.
Right place, right time.
Maybe he was talking to Brad Adam.
Yeah, he's talking to me. He comes down. He says, "Hey, Brad, what should I do with it?" I said, "Keep it, dude." we'll have security on both of it soon. But yeah, they asked for it, and he was willing to give it up. And then he said, "Wait a minute, what do you think?" Keep it.
Hey, Brad, you're about to get ejected from this game.
we gotta go Cougs, by the way.
Oh, I love that.
Might as well get a picture while we have it.
If I'm back at the hotel, I'll still phone in, guys. I'll just call you from the hotel.
Ward dancing around over there at first base.
But I am curious to see if security will make him give up the bat. We'll see.
Now Brad's got his first story developing as we speak. Inside out grounder into right field. Couple of men on base, 1 out and 2 on.
We saw plenty of this from the Orioles last night, especially from that man right there, Pete Alonso. There's a couple turning points. One of them was early where a little sac fly, all kinds of traffic over Emerson Hancock, was able to get out of that inning with just the 1 run. And of course, we showed in the open he was up in the count 3-0, and that ball that was turned over from Matt Brash, he punched out with loaded bases.
Left-hand hitting Colton Cowser. This is not an especially left-hand heavy lineup for the Orioles. They'll have 4 who will bat left-handed. And scrapes the edge for a strike. So some traffic right away for the Orioles. Ward at second, Alonso at first base. Orioles 8th in baseball in runs per game, 11th in homers. Across the board, they've been pretty solid offensively. We talked about the noticeable home road splits, but they're just outside the top 10 in on base and slugging and home runs and doubles. They do strike out quite a bit. Gilbert behind, 98-mile-an-hour fastball misses up. It's 3-1. In fact, the Orioles are probably saying we've been a little unlucky. No team has hit the ball harder this year than the Orioles. Best hard hit rate in the majors. Swing and a miss. Fastball middle away. We have seen some pretty elite velocity from Logan here this first inning.
Yeah, they've been a patient team. Third when it comes to pitches per plate appearance. You mentioned not a whole lot of lefties here. If he deploys that split here with 2 strikes, even in a 3-2 count.
(3-2). 98. We saw Gilbert hit 98.7 in this inning. That's his fastest pitch since September of 2024. Missing in for ball 4. How close was this? Our EQC tracer, it was actually on the edge for a strike. No challenge, though.
Yeah, Mitch Garver's been so good challenging pitches. You can see Logan Gilbert kind of staring in there, hoping, praying that he was going to challenge that. 3-2 breaking ball.
Here's Leody Taveras. Check swing and foul. Orioles had chances last night with the bases loaded. In fact, Pete Alonso hit not once but twice with the bags packed. And the worst thing that happened was a sacrifice fly. But right away, the Orioles load him up.
Yeah, plenty of hard contact last night, plenty of base runners. And a whole lot of chase, too. That was one thing when a new manager came into spring training, Craig Albanese. He wanted to change the philosophy at the big league level and all the way down, especially with 2 strikes. He said he got sick of watching, this team in the last couple of years. It was just A swings at 2 strikes, tons of swing and miss. You want to have everyone have a better approach, the way they develop their hitters. Tell some of the plate discipline we've seen up and down the lineup so far.
And Taveras, maybe not an easy guy in this situation. Doesn't strike out a ton. Hits the ball in the air a lot. Good runner. Not an easy guy to double up. Still 1-2. One of the more strikeout-prone teams in baseball this year. Logan would love a punch-out or a ground ball right at somebody and quickly. 1-2. Does not chase that split finger. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And on a night where the Mariners really need some length from Logan Gilbert. Bullpen is short. Had a lot of guys work back-to-back. Well, there's only 1 out and 23 pitches already from Gilbert. Two. Foul ground. Wisdom is watching this find the crowd.
Yeah, this is where Logan Gilbert, we can get cornered a little bit because you're looking up at that pitch count. You've only got the 1 out here in the first inning. So that pitch count gets in the 20s. You know about that bullpen. You're not getting the same chase, the same bites from some of those pitches below the strike zone. It's a situation where you give in over the middle of the plate.
Gilbert steps off. Munoz has gone back-to-back. Brash, you wonder what his availability is after that adventure in last night's game. Bizzardo has worked 2 straight. Inside. Mariners making a roster move earlier today. Unfortunately, Cooper Criswell finds himself on the injured list, and Nick Davila is recalled. So there is a fresh arm in the pen. You can see Davila there in the middle of the pack with O'Hoppe off to his left. All right, big spot here. Bases loaded, 1 out and a full count. Here it comes. Cracked out to center field. Julio is able to make the catch. Ward tags and comes home. A bullet caught in center field by Julio. A little damage control. He's having himself a series out there in center.
We know how good he was defensively last night, all season long. Really, look at this. I mean, you have to be 1,000% sure you are going to keep that ball in front of you, because if that gets away to the wall, this inning breaks out in a big way. Now all of a sudden you got 2 outs thanks to that great catch and just the 1 run so far. And you have to make that decision too, right? Do I round this ball off or go straight towards it? Keeping that ball in front of you, that's the priority.
Two outs and 2 on. Here's Kobe Mayo. Now Mayo, low average, high strikeout this year. Does have 8 home runs. Maybe a good guy to chase a strikeout with here.
Yeah, I mean, man, as exhausting as this has been, you're not looking for a weak contact right now. Plus, he can run. Try and get some chase.
Doesn't chase that slider. Nearly a 30-pitch first inning. Gilbert falls behind, 2-1. Not a guy who chases much at all, right at league average, in fact. But you can get some swing and miss when he does expand the zone. 2-1. Does so right there.
Yeah, the slider at the bottom of the strike zone. Good depth to it. Still Logan Gilbert's trying to find that rhythm here in that first inning. Land some pitches.
Mayo calls time. Gilbert trying to work some damage control here. He's got first and second. 2 outs, 2 on, 2 balls, and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. He froze him. A slider that backed up on him, and it works out. A taxing first inning for Logan Gilbert, but he surrenders just a single run.
Depot.
I'll tell you what, Josh Naylor's grand slam started in the on-deck circle. And it was because of Julio Rodriguez's at bat. Now, Nunez is going to try and get him to chase with that sweep. You can see everything down below the strike zone. And then all of a sudden, look, this pitch is backing up. He can't quite find it. He resorts to that heater. So look at this. You can see Naylor's shaking his head. Nope. I'm going to sit on something up in the strike zone. Anything down, he's just going to tip his cap, get something straight, get himself a fastball. And he sure did. Was able to ambush that pitch and hit it out, break this game open. But huge at bat. He's trying to fix a contact or something right now, getting ready for his AB #1 today.
Just trying to stall and give you a little more time there.
That's right, yeah. He's talking about the grand salami last night.
That was the big swing in the game last night. Part of a 5-run inning, a grand slam for Naylor, his first as a Mariner. Looks like he's got the windshield cleaned off. 1-2-3, top of the first for Trevor Rogers. There was some loud contact, however. Robles flew out to the wall in left field, and Arozarena hit a 106-mile-an-hour liner that was caught on a leap by Gunnar Henderson at short. One. Naylor, Refsnyder, and Wisdom. Naylor, one of just two lefties in the lineup today for the Mariners. They've got all the righties in there to face Rogers. That misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And this is where Trevor Rogers has struggled with 2 strikes. We even saw that contact, that last out of that first inning. Those are 2 strikes. Robles, too, driving that ball. 2 strikes.
Soft fly ball, shallow right field. O'Neill comes in and can't get there. It's a parachute single for Josh Naylor to lead things off. The insurance you get brought to you by PIMCO Insurance for Trevor Rogers this season. We're looking at the batting average against compared to the expected numbers. Well, if you are the pitching coach for the Orioles, you sit down and you say, hey man, I know the numbers haven't been great this year, but maybe you've just run into some tough luck. With the exception of one pitch type, the expected numbers are all better than what the actual numbers are.
Yeah, and just a whole lot of contact too. Again, just talking about the 2 strikes. Opponents hit 286 against Rogers when he's got 2 strikes. That's the second worst with anyone with 10+ starts in the big leagues. And the contact, 87% contact rate. You talk about that expected batting average. I mean, this is where you want to get some of that whiff, that swing and miss. He's just been unable to get it.
Mayo on the grass in time. Refsnyder is out. Naylor into second. 1 out and a runner in scoring position.
And you thought Refsnyder would have had enough time to get down that line, but nice play right there. The polar bear smothering that ball over first base.
One down, a man at second for Patrick Wisdom. Well, the Mariners offense has really been clicking ever since the beginning of that 8-game win streak. 6 runs last night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wisdom. Inside out grounder, bobbled for a moment by Alonso. A headlong dive, and he gets there in time. All out effort by Pete Alonso. 2 down.
Trevor Rogers taking a little bit to get over there too. So just calling him off and diving into the bag. Getting that uni dirty these last couple of plays.
There's no Kwame Supermo. Alonso not taking any chances there. There's Mitch Garver. Pareda behind home plate the last 3 games. Garver in there today with a lefty up on the mound. Pareda's really been swinging it. Garver this year has walked a ton. And has been his greatest strength is on base because of all those walks. A couple of home runs to go along with it. Skied, short right field. O'Neill comes in to make the catch. Naylor stranded at third.
Hart.
Hey, welcome, Brad Adam with you at the Ford Sports Desk, trying to get in view here in Baltimore. Hey, a shortstop update for you. Colt Emerson, J.P. Crawford sitting next to each other there in the dugout. Colt Emerson feels better today. Danny Wilson said, yes, it was a step forward. He's certainly day-to-day getting treatment. Hopefully can play tomorrow for J.P. Crawford. He said the hand still sore, yes. He said it really told him where he was on Sunday. He tried to swing a bat in Detroit. It did not go well. He knew he needed more than just a few days. It was his idea to stay here on the trip. He said, if I can't play, I want to be able to cheerlead and help guys out whenever I can. So the 2 shortstops right there, both on the mend, guys.
You know, it is wild when you think about last night's game, how close it was, how narrow that win was for the Mariners because of those 2 challenges, one on the ABS and then one on the timing play, with Holiday being out at home instead of being safe in the inning over. I mean, you look at your scorebook from last night's game, and you're saying, so you've got Ryan Bliss in the lineup, Johnny Pareda in the lineup, Patrick Wisdom in the lineup, right? You are without all these major pieces for the Mariners, and even the backup to the backup in Colt Emerson, who has come up and made obviously great contributions, and yet the Mariners able to put it together and score 6 runs and get the win last night. It was just a really tremendous team win as Holiday goes down swinging.
Good first quick out for Logan Gilbert. Needs that after that lengthy first inning. Quick strikeout just out of the inning. Now you're right too, and not to mention, look, J.P. Crawford was starting to find something offensively. He was starting to play way better defense as well, making some really good plays, even going back to the homestand. And Colt Emerson as well getting settled in. Starting to put up some good numbers, so good to hear Colt Emerson is on the mend, potentially playing tomorrow.
Tyler O'Neill is at the plate. Now 30 years old. Former 3rd-round draft pick by the Mariners. He was traded to the Cardinals for Marco Gonzalez. That deal worked out well for the Mariners and for the Cardinals in a lot of ways. O'Neill, a 2-time Gold Glove winner with St. Louis, was there for 6 years. Had a 30-homer season. Do you think Tyler O'Neill is the best comp for you as a home run derby hitter?
I was waiting for something.
Do you think?
Man, this dude, first time I'd seen him really up close was at the World Baseball Classic. He was playing for Team Canada. You couldn't have 2 different personalities when you're talking Josh Naylor and Tyler O'Neill. This guy, man, this guy was all business. Let me tell you, I tried to have a conversation with him. But you forget, too, that big trade with Marco Gonzalez. He's in the Mariners system. A couple teammates right there for Team Canada.
A mile high and foul.
I asked him about some of the swing mechanic changes he made this year down in Puerto Rico. I swear I thought I was in a biomechanics lecture. I was like, hold on a minute, I can't keep up with this. He was going into he's deep diving on some of the detail, but Yeah, you mentioned that trade too. It kind of worked out for both teams, really, when you think about it.
Marco, a two-time opening day starter for the Mariners. Tyler's dad, Terry, was once named Mr. Canada, given each year to the nation's top bodybuilder. Won that back in 1975. Takes up and in, and O'Neill draws a one-out walk. Well, the Mariners welcome the Red Sox to town for an American League matchup starting June 19th. They'll miss post-game fireworks Friday the 19th and a special Father's Day celebration on the 21st. Mariners.com/tickets to lock in your seats. Got plenty of Mariner fans here around Camden Yards. Sam Huff fouled away, strike one. One of the real kind of mysteries right now around the Orioles is what's going on with Adley Rutschman. Rutschman played in the final game against the Blue Jays prior to yesterday's start to this homestand for Baltimore. He DH'd. He was out of the lineup yesterday. I think most people thought it was just a routine day off for Adley Rutschman, but then was held out of the lineup today as well. So Sam Huff is catching in his place. Samuel Basallo is another catching option for the Orioles, and a guy who was given a lengthy extension. This is into the corner, and it is fair. O'Neill into third, and Huff, he's been the third-string catcher essentially, ropes a double into the corner. Well, Basallo's had an issue with his wrist, so the Orioles are really short-handed at that position.
Yeah, you see this pitch just leaking back to the inside part of the plate. Sam Huff drives his ball, bouncing into the seats. Yeah, but you mentioned Basallo. We got a chance to see him last night, you know, signing that extension before he played in the big leagues behind the plate. And the question was, well, okay, how does this fit in with Adley Rutschman being one of those players? Adley was one of those guys we talked about. Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, that young core of players that the Orioles are about to have this really good run offensively, and they have too. But it's been a bit of a decline for Adley the last couple of years offensively. Came into spring training trying to come in better shape, lost some weight, got stronger.
It's been a nice bounce back year for Rutschman in that regard. 0-2 here on Ward. The infield is in. Second and third for the Orioles threatening. Gilbert is approaching 50 pitches with one out here in the home second. 0-2. Lined foul. And Ward needs a new bat. Now a message from Jack in the Box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Gilbert was able to strand two in the first inning, a 31-pitch first inning. And the pitches are really stacking up on him. Has not thrown Ward a fastball yet. 0-2. And still hasn't. Now Ward, a very disciplined hitter, does not chase much at all. And incredibly high on base, walking more than almost anyone in baseball this year. His chase rate better than half the league average. Infield remains drawn in, second and third for the Orioles. Fastball up and in at 96. Let's set up something down and away.
Yeah, I mean, unintentionally. I'm just watching Logan pitch, and again, we talked about this the last handful of starts. He's gone back to that simplifying things. Heater, splitter off of that, less slide.
With the tag, And a run wiped off the board for the Orioles.
Well, we just talked about J.P. Crawford and Cole Emerson being sidelined these last couple of days, so Cole Young has to take over at short. By the way, he only had the one play last night. And they're going to challenge this, but nice play, good throw, good release. See if this play can stand. Another look right here. Oh, it looks like they got a hand underneath the tag of Mitch Garver.
Now, you can see O'Neill immediately pointing to the dugout to say, take a look at that. Of course, they were going to anyway. Craig Alvarez, first-year manager for the Orioles. Stephen Vogt's bench coach in Cleveland before coming to Baltimore.
It's been a grind early for Logan Gilbert. Spent plenty of time standing out on that mound. Already 50 pitches.
Well, good on Cole Young tonight, making just his second start at short in the big leagues. Of course, played there for a long, long time in the minors. He was drafted as a shortstop, but he played that perfectly. Let's see if we can get a clear look here. Let's find out. So very interesting. The call is confirmed, so they saw enough evidence to say yes, he is out.
That's a big break right there. The Orioles getting the one run. In that first inning, Logan Gilbert, you see that pitch count starting to pile up. That play was overturned. It would have been the second run, obviously. Just a one out. You're just trying to scrap and claw to get some weak contact. Get yourself out of the second inning.
Yeah, perfectly played by Cole Young. If they had said the call stands, that would have meant that there was not any conclusive evidence to overturn it. So he was definitively out. Here is Gunnar Henderson. Pitch missing away, ball one. Gunnar, 13 home runs this year, but a fair amount of swing and miss. It's been a down year overall offensively, but you just know that at some point he's going to get back to being Gunnar Henderson. And if you're the Mariners, you hope it doesn't happen while you're in town. 2-0.
You're starting to see that in the month of June. The swing and miss is starting to decline a little bit. Starting to take a breath in between pitches. Craig Alvarez said Gunnar Henderson was just trying to simply do too much in the middle of this lineup.
He has been such a good player, and you look at those numbers offensively. 100 league average. He has been an upwards of 54% better than league average in his big league career in any single season. And you think about those numbers at the position he plays at shortstop, and those numbers glisten even more because of that. Fouled it off his lower half, 2-2. That goes all the way back to Gilbert.
See that strikeout rate around 25%. Early here in the month of June, he's got that down to 18%.
Two. Well, the tricky part here, you've got a guy at the plate with some power and a man coming up next, should he reach, that you really are afraid of, Pete Alonso. Three balls, 2 strikes to Henderson. Gilbert is nearing 60 pitches.
Yeah, with a lot of distractions too, a lot of high stress pitches in these first 2 innings. Look at that, 31 in the first, already 25 here.
3-2. Nothing easy for Logan.
And he just keeps going to that slider. Big reason why he doesn't have that good feel at all for that fastball is getting in these deep counts. He's trying to get off the barrel as best he can. We talked about him throwing more of that split. The reason why outings leading into this has been better counts, but not the case today.
He got him. Slider elevated, strikes out Gunnar Henderson. Gilbert has been walking the tightrope through the first 2 innings, and it's just a 1-0 lead for the Orioles. It's not too late to come on aboard with the Mariners Flex membership. Choose your games and seats all summer long and save 10% or more on tickets with no fees and lock in priority postseason access. Sign up for the most fan-friendly season ticket plan in baseball. Mariners.com/flex. Ooh, that's a bad call. 11-game hit streak for Cole Young, the longest of his career, the longest by a Mariner this year, in fact. He's batting .318, and the expected numbers would indicate that it maybe could be even better. He has really cut down the swing and miss. It's half the league average or thereabout. It's been an impressive run for Cole Young. This is sailing out towards deep left field, but it's caught there by Cowser. 1 out. Here is Ryan Bliss.
Yeah, nice night last night with that sac fly to get things started for the scoring for the Mariners. That really nice play from that Julio Julio throw, the nice tag. That was a real game changer. Yeah, Julio 96 from center field.
Yeah, that was, I think maybe it looked like an easier play at second base than what it probably was.
Right.
That was a tremendous tag on an outstanding throw all the way around. Well executed by the Mariners. Now going back to that first pitch to Cole Young, that was clearly off the plate and ruled a strike. A couple of things that I wonder about. One, Cole this year has not challenged much. He has lost 3 of his 4 challenges.
Okay.
So an infrequent challenger for a guy who plays every day.
Yeah.
And when he has challenged, it has not worked out for him more times than not. Also, he's leading off the 3rd inning. Early in the game, first pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I think if you're sitting on your couch and you look at the EQC tracer in this case, you say, well, how can you not challenge that? But then, on the other hand, if a hitter leading off the 3rd inning of a game challenges a pitch, the first pitch of the inning, and loses, you're sitting on your couch and you're going, how can you challenge that?
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, and I think, we've seen this. We saw that back in Detroit too, man. When you lose those 2 challenges early, it just changes things. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that all of a sudden the umpire's zone changes whatsoever, but you just don't have that, like we saw last night, that situation with Matt Brash, the play that Johnny Pareda turned over. Now, Johnny Pareda hasn't had a whole lot of success behind the dish either, but 3-2, man, it gets to a place where it's do or die in that situation. And he had the ability to be able to challenge. So you got to pick your spots, and you're starting to see guys less of the that quick instinct to feel like they're emotionally trying to challenge some of these plays early. They're starting to have more of the strategy. But I'm curious though with Cole Young. We've seen the Marlins do this, where they'll set up a machine and they'll have a net in front of the catcher, and the catcher has to say whether or not it's challengeable. They'll move the machine around. We've seen other teams, do some stuff pre-game to help some of their guys out with the challenge system.
Long at bat here from Bliss.
But man, you're Cole Young. You've already lost 3 out of your 4. You're probably sitting there going, I'm going to hesitate a little bit here because I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to turn this over, especially in the 3rd inning.
This will be at least a 10-pitch AB for Bliss. Yeah, you better be 100% sure that pitch was ruled incorrectly to challenge in a 1-0 game on the very first pitch of the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
So I credit to Cole Young in that regard. Can this work out? Yes, it can. Man, now that's an at-bat. Bliss gets the best of both worlds. He grinds down Rogers for 11 pitches and gets paid off with a knock, much to the approval of J.P. Crawford.
Yeah, that's some cheerleading from J.P. Brad Adams was talking about him trying to support his guys. Wasn't that bad too? Look, Trevor Rogers is slowly starting to get in the rhythm. On the other side, you've got Logan Gilbert throwing nearly 30 pitches for the first 2 innings. Man, that is massive right there.
Robles bunts it right back to the mound, throw to second, and they get Bliss there. Bliss has to go back, pick up the gloves as Robles is at first. Bliss is out. 2 down and a man aboard.
Yeah, Robles is trying to drag that bunt. Looks like he was trying to go up the first base line. Ball was a breaking ball, so took the right spin off the barrel, straight back to Trevor Rogers. Gets that lead out.
Fouls that back.
See that velocity from Trevor Rogers too. We talked about he came out from that trade from the Baltimore Orioles and the velocity was way down. He said he just didn't feel like himself. The confidence just wasn't there. He didn't have anything on that fastball. Then he had that big bounce back year last year. Spent a ton of time in the offseason going into 2025, hitting the weight room, getting way stronger. So the velocity's still there. There's 2 things that stand out watching Trevor Rogers. Number 1, we talked about with 2 strikes, just too much plate. I feel like sometimes that's a mental thing where you're trying to make a plus pitch knowing that you're just not getting the swing and miss like you used to get. And the other thing is getting the ball inside too. When he's struggling, and just watching some of his games this year, you can see the catcher, whoever it be, whether it be Adley Rutschman or Sam Huff, really trying to give him a target in there, like, hey, let's go, let's get in there. It's kind of that body language is to say, hey, we've got to bury this ball on the inner half of the plate, and it's left out over the plate.
Robles trying to take second, throw, gets away from Holiday, and Robles swipes second base. His second bag this year.
And again, he's spent some time on the IL, but good to see Robles getting a chance to swipe a bag right. He didn't get the best jump. That ball getting away. Jackson Holiday right there in scoring position.
To right field, in front of the warning track, O'Neill makes the catch and makes a fan happy. Runner stranded in scoring position for the second straight inning. Orioles have an early lead.
Western Washington Hyundai dealer.
Welcome back to Baltimore. Brad Adden with you at the Ford Sports Desk. An early game in Tacoma for the Rainiers, meaning an early game for Cal Brawley. His first game in AAA for the Rainiers, and he's already homered once. And this one, boy, clears the bases. A grand slam for Cal. What a productive day for him. 3 ABs. He had 2 home runs, 6 RBI, played 5 innings behind the dish. So a nice start for the Rainiers and for Cal. They won big today. Again, he'll play with them the rest of the week, reevaluate Cal over the weekend. But certainly looks to be feeling pretty good, guys.
Brad, did we find out what the post-game spread was? We knew about the hibachi up in
I know, not yet. Not yet. And maybe he does that at the very end because it was just 1 game in Everett, so maybe his last game.
Oh, fair enough.
He feeds everybody. But those guys probably looking for something today, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's minor leaguers talk, right?
Just not a stack of pizzas, put it that way. You got to come big.
Brad, just start asking the tough questions, please, and get us the answers, okay?
Hey, speaking of tough questions, our boy with Pete Alonso up, our boy Craig from Richland, who caught his bat.
Oh yeah.
Able to keep it, guys.
What?
The Orioles,
Nice.
yes, they are storing it for him. There's my man, storing it for him. He's got a little voucher at the end of the game. He'll go pick up his Pete Alonso bat.
I don't know. They might switch it out on him.
Now, wait a second.
Give him some knockoff.
You're telling me, after we just saw Craig from Richland, you're telling me that the good people of Camden Yards don't trust Craig from Richland with a bat for the rest of the game?
Won't let him just, sit in the stands and have the bat there?
Like, what do you think? That a couple of calls go against the Mariners and Craig is going to show his frustration in some uncomfortable way?
My man.
Well, I'm glad Craig's got his voucher.
Absolutely.
I just hope he doesn't go back with his voucher. It's just a ghost town wherever he's got to go. And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't know anything about your bat.
This is a nacho stand, Craig. What are you talking about?
He should have just given it to you, Brad. You would have looked after it.
Oh, that's a great
I
call.
could have stored it down here in the camera roll
That's a
for
great
sure.
call.
I like that.
Alonso pops up, and Colton Cowser is batting. One ball and a one strike. Man, how'd you like to have a Pete Alonso bat flying at you in the crowd? I don't think you're prepared for that.
Nah. Yeah, I cleared the netting. I mean, that's a fair chuck over that third base dugout.
Gilbert would love a quick inning here. 31 pitches in the first. He really had to labor again in the second.
He's been running a marathon here early. 65 pitches here in the third inning.
Drilled out to center, turns Julio around. He is backpedaling, and he makes the catch. A loud out number 2. Julio played that very well.
Yeah, he scorched his ball. The one that goes, you see he's just shaded a little bit to the left. Drops back on his right foot, gets turned around, stays with it. Plenty of room right behind him as he approaches that warning track. I was watching Logan Gilbert after that. He just kind of took this big exhale as to say, you know what, I'll take it. Second out. I don't care how hard that ball was hit. No one on base. Easy inning here in the third. Get this third out.
Well, Julio robbed Leody Taveras of a base hit back in the first inning. That would have done some real damage. Instead, it was nothing more than a sacrifice fly. Garver helping that borderline pitch at the bottom of the zone, and he gets the count to 0-2.
Break off a split right here. Get a quick out. Quick punch out.
Well, he goes with a splitter, but too far outside. Two outs, nobody on. Inside. A couple of bad misses, back-to-back pitches, and it evens the count. 31 pitches in the first, 27 last inning. And a chance for his quickest inning by far here. He was ahead 0-2, now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's just not getting that chase, split, slider. Both those pitches, anything outside the strike zone, Orioles just not biting at it.
Taveras calls for time.
That's a grind. You go 0-2, back to 3-2, hoping to get that quick inning. 1-2-3.
Spoils that. Velocity has settled back to normal,
Yeah.
I would say, for Logan.
Yeah, I mean, especially too when you have 30 pitches, 27 pitches, man. Stressful.
In the league this year, Gilbert has one of the best out-of-zone swing and miss rates, just over 50%. Looking for something like that here. That caught a lot of the plate, popped up. Wisdom drifts into foul territory. Best inning yet for Logan Gilbert, a 1-2-3 third. Mariners sending Randy Arozarena to the plate to lead things off in the fourth when we come back.
We'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
Randy leads things off in the Mariners' fourth. He takes outside for ball one. Nice night for Randy last night, a 3-hit game. And if you look at 3-hit games for Randy by season, he's already equaled as many as he had all of last year. He had 16 of them back in 2021. You know, funny enough, you look at that year for Randy, of course, with the Rays, he hit 274 that year. He's batting 293 this season. This is by far his best season for average. And it's not just average, a lot of doubles. He's leading, or among the league leaders, I should say. Has 18 of them. 1-2. Rattled foul.
Yeah, he's been really good this year. Talked about this in regards to some of the All-Star voting coming up. And he has to be in that conversation. He did make the All-Star team last year, but that was a late ad. Some of the hits last night, wearing out right field. We've talked about that a lot. 42% batted balls into right side of the field. That's 6th most in the American League.
Well, speaking of all-star credentials, among American League outfielders, he's been one of the very best. Takes that outside. 2nd in WRC plus, 6th in OPS. He's leading all AL outfielders in doubles and in stolen bases. A rocket into left field. This touches down for a base hit. Randy's 4th hit of the series, and he quickly slams it in reverse. That was gotten too fast by Cowser at left field. And if anybody can appreciate that, it's a left fielder himself, a Rosarena. Leadoff single.
I talked about all that hit to right field. Look at him just thinking he's going to. He was thinking 2 the whole way out of the box. He turned around, saw the ball coming at him.
103 off the bat. Randy now 8 for 16 on this road trip, a trip that began with 3 games in Detroit. Tonight, the 2nd game in Baltimore.
And again, just more hard contact with 2 strikes against Trevor Rogers. Again, we talked about how much of a challenge it's been putting hitters away. You get that feeling the more looks you get at Trevor Rogers, there's really nothing that's going to beat these hitters. If Logan can keep it right there. I know his pitch count has climbed. Keep this game 1-0. I think the Mariners are going to be in good shape.
Rogers with the pitch comm on his glove. A wave and a miss. He gets a chase that time from Josh Naylor on a sweeper.
Touche right on cue when I'm talking about not getting any swing and miss with 2 strikes. He gets that left on left punch out. Josh Naylor, who, by the way, hits Trevor Rogers really well. He's a good sweeper. Left on left.
First strikeout tonight for Trevor Rogers. Refsnyder, the batter. Tonight's Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. For so many years in the division for Refsnyder, both with New York and also with Boston. Highest career average against Baltimore. 362 lifetime for Refsnyder, and among active players, the highest. Ooh, awkward throw over there at first base, and Alonso able to get to it and keep it from going into foul ground. What happened there?
The Mariners have already been active. Robles still on that base. Oh. Ball dart over there.
1-2. Spoils that one foul. Stays alive. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Mariners have had traffic now each of the last 3 innings. In fact, they've left a man in scoring position each of the last 2, including a man at third. Lined into left field. That was scorched, and the Mariners have 2 on. Some hard contact against Rogers here in the 4th inning. First Randy's single, and now Refsnyder's.
Yeah, Refsnyder, good to see. Talked to the Mariners doing better things against lefties. Refsnyder, how much he struggled early on in this year. He was coming in to be in the lineup against lefties. Robles coming back. A little bit more of that. It's a good sign.
Up and in. Wisdom fouls it back.
See the hard hit balls against 7 for the Mariners. This is what I'm talking about against Trevor Rogers. You feel like the more they get a couple looks at Trevor Rogers, he has had his struggles as the game has gone on, 3rd, 4th time through. That's when the wheels really come off. Look at that hard contact again, deeper in counts.
Well, Rogers goes top of the zone and then bottom of the zone, and he's ahead 0-2 on Wisdom. Wisdom calls time. And Wisdom finding himself in a lot of 2-strike counts. Two down.
Again, back to the sweeper. That's a pitch he's punched out Josh Naylor with, left on left, this time to Patrick Wisdom. Missed it by plenty.
Well, the Mariners are in jeopardy of stranding a runner in scoring position once again. It's up to Garver, who takes a changeup that caught a lot of the plate, more than Rogers would have liked, for strike 1. Yeah, good speed out there at second, and Arozarena to the tying run. Ref Snyder at first. And Rogers working from ahead again. It's 0-2 on Garver. Now, Rogers really mowed through the Mariners in the first, even though there was some really loud contact against him. But he's had traffic now 3 straight innings. Now the Mariners trying to push their first run across. Mariners have 5 of the hardest 7 hit balls of the game tonight with nothing to show for it. Two outs and 2 on. Good take, does not go. It's a full count.
Yeah, trying to go with that sweeper.
Garv calls time. Young would be next. High fly, deep left field, flying back and gone. It's a 3-run bomb from Mitch Garver, and the Mariners take the lead. They cash it in the 4th inning.
Well, Goldie, you got that feeling at some point with all that hard contact we've seen, especially with 2 strikes, at some point they're going to cash in. And Mitch Garver, he hasn't, it's his first start since that first game back in Detroit. Gets a pitch middle of the plate after laying off that sweeper, just laying off that pitch before it. Gets something up in the strike zone. Drives his ball into left field.
Everything, the whole at bat was in, down and
Right.
in. You think Garver eventually just thought, I'm sitting on something in that zone?
Yeah, and I think too, a couple at bats before that, obviously Patrick Wisdom, right before he got that sweeper, thinking about that pitch. I mean, that's where he's done some damage. That pitch middle in. Mitch Garver.
Young out to left, straightaway left field. Kowser can make a catch on this one to retire the side. Well, the Mariners don't leave him on this time around thanks to Mitch Garver's 3-run homer. Well, soccer is in the air in Seattle. Come out to Victory Hall across from T-Mobile Park Thursday, June 11th for a free kickoff watch party. And the fun doesn't stop there. You can catch games all tournament long on the 23-foot video wall and the new outdoor LED screens. First pitch strike, Mayo leading things off. So that is on the 11th for the kickoff watch party. On the 19th, what a day that'll be in Soto. The Mariners will play at night against the Red Sox. There's a post-game firework show after that game is over with. And earlier that day, will be Team USA versus Australia. So you can get into Soto early, hunker down over at Victory Hall, and spend the day either there or inside T-Mobile Park. Mayo is out, and quickly. One away.
Well, it has been a grind for Logan Gilbert the first 3 innings. Hefty pitch counts. Getting a strike 1, 2, 3. Good night. After that 3-run inning, take a little bit of a breath. Now it gets to a point here when you're coming into a game, and obviously with most of these starters, you come in with a plan, how you're going to attack these hitters. And all of a sudden you don't have that good feel, that good command, especially on that fastball and that split. So you're trying to go to plan B, and that's slider heavy for Logan Gilbert. You get to this point in the game that you're looking up, it says 77 on the, and you just kind of come to the fact that, you know what, I may not go deep in this, but I'm just going to empty the tank these next couple of innings, go as hard as I can. Just be on the attack too. Now you got a little 2-run lead. Just get after it.
As many 4-seamers as sliders so far today. That's been the bulk of the arsenal.
This is Logan Gilbert, talking month of April, early May. Talked about him simplifying some things the last couple of times out. The K rate has gone up because the split has come back. He kind of put that in the back pocket. He went more to the changeup. There's more contact against him.
2-2. How big of a deal to the psyche of the guys down there is the shutdown inning? Right, you go out there, you get the runs, you take the lead, and now it's up to your pitcher to keep that lead from disappearing, or at least getting cut into.
I was always told when I was young, it's like, okay, hey, look, shut him down quick, like after a big inning. And I'd always think, well, I mean, does that really matter? But what that does too, especially as this game gets to those middle innings, right, before you have to get to a place where you get the back end of the bullpen, but it just kind of takes, not so much in your dugout. That's one thing, right? Keep that energy, that's one thing. But on the other side, when you're on the receiving end of that.
This is driven deep out to left field. Refsnyder is in front of the warning track, covering some ground, and he makes the catch. Refsnyder, a late change to left. Arozarena moved to the DH. We've not been told why, but Refsnyder plays that very well.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of him in left field. Talked about Randy switching up. A nice play right there, running into that wall. Staying with that, especially up the left-handed bat as well. But I think more when you're on the receiving end of this, where you feel like you're cruising, you're putting a dent in Logan Gilbert's pitch count, you're feeling pretty good about your at-bats, and then whack, Mitch Garver goes deep, gets that 3 runs, and all of a sudden you're down. Then you're right back out on the field from a opposing pitcher, or even in that dugout. It's just that deflating feeling, like you feel like, oh man, now all of a sudden all the energy, the momentum is on the other side. So it's tougher when you're on the receiving end, in my opinion, than it is if you're the Mariners.
O'Neill at the plate. Takes down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And just to finish that thought too, usually it's like that 5th and 6th inning. All of a sudden your team breaks through, and then you go out and get a quick 1, 2, 3 right back in the dugout. I feel like you got all that momentum on your side.
On the ground, Wisdom gobbles it up. Strong throw to first base, and a shutdown inning complete from Logan Gilbert. He's retired the side in order for the 2nd straight inning. Mitch Garver's 3rd home run of the year on our Snoqualmie Supermo has given the Mariners a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, you're talking about getting attacked in on multiple pitches. Just getting that bat head out. Getting his 3rd for the year. Good to see.
Bliss, an 11-pitch at bat in his first time up. It ended in a single. It was the longest at bat of his career.
We're seeing Ryan Bliss really do nothing but just wear out right center field. Did that last night. Got that base hit early in the game.
Fly ball out to center field. Leody Taveras is there waiting for it, makes the catch. Leadoff man retired. 1 out. Well, the Mariners scoring 4 runs last night with the grand slam, both, or I should say all 3 runs today on the 3-run home run, and the Mariners are right now the outlier leader in terms of highest percentage of runs via the home run. And if you start the clock on May the 1st, that number goes up nearly 10 more points. They have scored 60% of their runs since the beginning of May, thanks to the home run ball. And has been pretty extreme.
You think about that too. I mean, it was the same last year too in 2025, and you probably look at that and say, well, you got a guy who on pace for 60+ home runs. You brought Gino Suarez into the mix too in those last couple of months as well. But they're right back on track as what they were in 2025.
You know, here's the difference this year for the Mariners compared to some other years, because the Mariners have been, if you look at it year over year in recent seasons, they've been more dependent on the home run ball than most. I think that's fair to say. What feels like the difference this year compared to some of those other seasons, there's been a lot of traffic on base when the Mariners have hit the home runs. You look at this series, the grand slam yesterday from Josh Naylor, 3-run home run today. Well, the Mariners are right now 19th in baseball in runs per game, and you look at what they've done since they've started that 8-game win streak. Since the 25th of last month, they've averaged about 5 runs per game, and it's because they've hit more home runs than anyone else. They've just hit a lot of them with oftentimes a good amount of traffic. So it's not just a bunch of solo shots, I guess is the point. Mariners are 15th in baseball in on-base percentage. And they've hit the 7th most home runs overall this year. And since May 25th, you can see 25 home runs, more than anybody. Going after a very high pitch out to right field. 2 outs. That brings up Julio. Speaking of, don't miss your chance to sit in the J-Rod squad presented by Adidas. The special section in center field available every game at T-Mobile Park, and on Tuesdays and Fridays you can score an exclusive no-fly zone t-shirt. Mariners.com/J-Rod. On the ground, just foul. Well, the Mariners have won 10 of their last 13 games, and they've really had the best of both worlds during that stretch of time. They've had excellent pitching, and they've had plenty of offense. You know this, so the way the Mariners have pitched, not just this year, but for years at this point, if you can get a chunk of time of weeks on end where you are averaging the Mariners 5 runs a game, with the way the Mariners can pitch it, it's going to be a really good stretch of baseball, and it's been exactly that.
Right, absolutely. And again, just back to that, runners in scoring position, situational hitting, that's something they want to be more of a complete offense to go along with the home run. They've been doing that of late.
3 fly ball outs. Camden Yards holds them all.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Of the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. A little rusty with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, when was the last time you read it?
Disseminated is the hardest part. It's been often said. Sam Huff leading things off. Mariners have the lead.
Yeah, Gary over on the radio side let me do that the last road trip.
Oh, did that?
Even though we didn't even have to do it, he still.
Well, he wanted to make you feel good.
That's what a good partner does. That's right.
There's always tomorrow. Did you handle disseminated okay? Did you nail it?
Nail it every time.
This is skied into very shallow left field. Cole Young making his 2nd straight start at short. Makes the catch. Well, you just say the word. we actually might be able to line that up for you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last telecast here in Baltimore.
Yes, that's right.
Thursday, Mariners will wrap up this series. That game will be nationally televised on ESPN. No local show here on Mariners TV. And then it's off to D.C. 3-game weekend series against the Nationals. Top of the order, third time through now for Gilbert. Corner, down and in. Back-to-back cutters to Taylor Ward.
There's that good located fastball he's been looking for all night. Down and away. It's going to get really interesting here as you see the pitch count go to 91. How they're going to deploy this bullpen to finish this close game off. A lot of usage the last couple of days.
Soft fly ball hanging up. Julio full steam ahead. Julio slides and he makes another spectacular catch. He is putting on a show in Baltimore. Our All-State good hands replay.
Man, this is such a nice catch. Again, we talked about the one a couple innings ago. Timed that perfectly. I thought he was dropping underneath a little early, but able to stay with it. Man, think about the throw last night. The play made earlier with traffic. Now this one, all of a sudden, 2 outs here in the 5th. And just gliding underneath that ball.
Arsenal call me Super Mo. One and 0 to Henderson. Well, that was pretty nasty. Back foot slider.
Yeah. This is the best he's looked. Yeah, 90+ pitches in. I'm curious, Goldie, here. Obviously, no one's getting loose in the bullpen just yet, but look, he's pushing close to 95 pitches. Is this a time where Dan Wilson says, hey, look, let me see if you can get me a couple outs here in the 6th inning because of all the usage of that bullpen the last couple of days.
His season high is 99 pitches. He falls behind 2-1 now.
Because you go Jose Ferrer, Bazada's gone back-to-back days. Jose Ferrer, if he pitches, it'll be 3 of the last 4. Same with Gabe Spire. Munoz has gone back-to-back.
Rolled over to Naylor at first base. Logan Gilbert has sat down 10 in a row and allowed just the 1 run over 5 innings.
In for life.
Well, this is seen a big moment for a Mariners fan here. First inning, Peter punches his bat territory into left field, and Craig from Richland got it, and we are with our good friend, new friend, Craig from Richland now. Okay, so that bat is tumbling towards you. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking, man? Catch it or get out of the way?
Well, initially thinking, I hope it doesn't hit anyone. I didn't want to get out of the way, but it was over my head, and it just happened to land in the aisle and then bounce towards me, and I scooped it up before anyone else could grab it and thought, oh, this is a pretty cool souvenir, and, you know, there we go, a Pete Alonso bat.
Yeah, if you had anybody from the O's, it'd be Alonso. So I saw you immediately come down. Did security ask for it right away?
Yeah, you bailed me out. The security guy working asked for the bat, and then I immediately made eye contact with you, and you're giving me the no, like hang on to that. So I did. So I need to thank you for that souvenir. And then after that, you got a lot of the locals here like, hey, $100, you know, because like you said, it's Pete Alonso. So it was a very interesting bat. I was kind of shocked at the lack of pine tar on it, because, you know, back in the day when we were lathering up our old Black Magics, you know, in the mid-'90s, we never slipped them out of our hands. So maybe I would suggest Mr. Alonso to put a little more DAP on that.
All right, we're talking to Craig from Richland, who got himself a new souvenir. So you said no on 100. What would you have done? Maybe 200?
Probably not, because getting
a ball coming our way. Not staying in play.
Because getting a foul ball or a home run or a BP ball, you know, we got one of those today. But a souvenir like a bat, I mean, that's pretty rare, especially with, you know, Yeah, no, I don't. I think we would have hung on to it. Someone would have had to give a whole lot, and I would have felt bad for taking that amount of money too.
And I bet that if it was a Mariner bet, you would have given it back for sure. But now you've got this voucher that you need to go up because they're holding it for you right now.
I guess it's considered a weapon here in Baltimore, walking around with the bat. So
imagine that.
Yeah, between that and my massive arms, I guess they're worried about me, taking out some pain on some of these fans here. But no, Baltimore's been a great city. The fans here have been great as well. But yeah, so they're holding on to the bat, and I guess I'll go up there and grab it on my way out of the park tonight.
Arms bigger than Ryan Rowland-Smith, so we appreciate that. Yeah. So, and your family, you take a trip each year, and you pick Baltimore and D.C., so nicely done.
Yeah. So, it's been we've never been to either park. So, we're checking 2 off the list this year. It's been a very nice park and nice little area here in Baltimore. I couldn't say anything negative about it. But
you got to win. You got a bat. Hopefully in D.C. you get the same. You're going to be spoiled now. You expect souvenirs every park you go to.
Yeah, but between a ball and a bat this game, I don't know what I'm going to get tomorrow. Maybe like a signed jersey or a helmet or some cleats.
If you want anything signed by Rowland-Smith, let me know. I can help you out.
Yeah, okay, I'd love to see his signature on a Pete Alonso bat. I mean, that was just like 2 peas in a pod. Didn't they play together? Is it Pete Alonso Australian or is he? Maybe not. Maybe he's New
I don't think so. Craig. Yeah. Well, Craig from Richland, we appreciate the time. Ryan will help you out, and good luck getting that bat. Hopefully you'll get a wave to him up there. There you go. Craig's taking over the telecast, guys. I love this.
Brad, just give him the microphone. Let him.
Why am I here?
Yeah, you take his seat and his bat, and he can get down to the camera well. Love that guy.
We're going to need some Craig when we get to D.C.
Oh, yeah.
We got to connect out there again. Let's see, Naylor not looking too comfortable after fouling that last pitch away.
Yeah, we're too busy trying to figure out the value of Pete Alonso's bat. Let's see from this swing.
Naylor leads the team in winces.
Yes.
He's had some pretty uncomfortable swings, it seems like, on this road trip.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to last year, you mentioned the winces. Every time he swung the bat, he takes some big hacks too. Remember, it was the shoulder last year. It was the back on that. He had that home run. He hit it home, came in, and had the massage gun to the back. It took him out of the game.
Well, despite how uncomfortable he might be on this road trip with some of those swings, he's having a fantastic trip. 8 for 19 with the grand slam last night. Everything this at bat has been away from him. And this one inside. Ball 4, a 1-out walk. Naylor aboard for the second time.
He still looks uncomfortable, shaking that right wrist around a little bit.
First walk tonight from Rogers. He's nearing 90 pitches. Bullpen up for the Orioles. Finds the corner this time. Count evens.
And just trying to wear out the inner half of that plate. See Andrew Kittredge, one of the back end guys for this Orioles bullpen, getting loose. Down 2 runs.
Naylor trying to take second, but this is fouled away. One and 2 on Ref Snyder. All 3 runs for the Mariners coming on Garver's 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Most everything in the air tonight by the Mariners against Rogers, including this, but it's foul.
Yeah, some healthy swings, even late counts. Opponents hit 356 third time through the lineup. Something Trevor Rogers talked about. He hit a wall a couple times of late, getting late to a game.
He gets a swing and a miss on Ref Snyder that time. 2 outs.
And that fastball 92. We've seen him at 94, 95. We talked about that uptick in velocity last year, but this is really the first time he's climbed the ladder. Big strikeout here in the 6th.
First pitch strike. This might be Rogers' last batter. Kittredge warmed up and ready to go. You've got Garver on deck, who hit the home run off of him. Of the 10 hardest hit balls tonight in play, the Mariners have 6 of them, including Garver's home run, which is the hardest hit ball of the game so far. Mariners have 4 of the top 5, in fact, facing Rogers. On the ground with some eyes, it threads the needle and splits the left side. The Mariners with some 2-out traffic. What will Craig Albernaz do? He's going to the former Husky. Andrew Kittredge ready to go in the bullpen. Pitching change. The Mariners knock Rogers out here in the 6th.
Western Washington Hyundai dealer.
Well, Mitch Garver's big swing back in the 4th has given the Mariners the lead, a 3-run homer.
Yeah, it's good to see against Trevor Rogers. And look, there's been plenty of hard contact with 2 strikes against him, but a huge blow right there. Getting that tried. Tell you what, the catches in Cal Rawley's absence coming back soon. But man, look at what the catch has done since Cal has hit the IL.
Oh, that's been such a good tandem of Pareda and Garver. Garver adding to that home run tally with his home run in the 4th tonight. He bats here facing a guy with some Northwest roots, born in Spokane, went to Ferris High School, and then on to the University of Washington. Andrew Kittredge, his first pitch playable this time in left field. Cowser makes the catch. The Mariners strand 2, and they take the lead to the bottom of the 6th inning. On June 18th, the first 15,000 fans will take home the Stars and Stripes soccer jersey thanks to Alaska Airlines. Gear up for the big game. Rep the Mariners before Team USA takes on Australia. June 19th. Visit mariners.com/tickets to lock in your seats. Logan Gilbert is at 96 pitches. His season high is 99. His career high is 110. That was way back in 2021. The bullpen is up. Hoppy just started to throw. He's become much more efficient after a rough start.
Yeah, he has. I think he's obviously the command's gotten better too, and you see the pitch count to go down with it. But we're talking about this in that last inning.
Well, this should help. Julio makes a bit of an adjustment and makes the catch. Yeah, and Alonso is out right away.
This really helps. We were talking about this last inning with Logan Gilbert going back in the dugout after the 5th. I guarantee Dan Wilson would have walked up to him and said, hey, listen, we need you to go back out there and get some length. Alex Hoppy just started to get loose, trying to squeeze as much as they can out of Logan Gilbert.
Here's the situation for the Mariners. You have multiple relievers who could very well be down. The likes of Brash, Munoz, and Bizzardo.
I think all but Bizzardo, I think, if I had to guess, would be unavailable tonight.
That leaves you with the 2 lefties, Ferrer and Spire. Hoppy and Davila, who was just recalled. Davila there on the right.
Yeah, 3-1 game is the big spot for Alex Hoppy. I mean, it's pretty amazing that Logan is still out there pitching in the 6th after the first 2 innings. If you would ask me, hey, how's it looking to get deep in this game? Wasn't looking so good.
Well, he had thrown almost 60 pitches to get the first 6 outs of the game. Season high 100 pitches, misses low, 2-1. Yeah. So how long is the leash here, do you think, for Dan? As soon as a man gets on base, do we think? Does he extend them beyond that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. You got, as you get towards the bottom part of this lineup, a couple lefties sprinkled in there.
2-2.
Haven't seen that good split where it's getting that swing and miss a whole lot tonight for Logan Gilbert. He busted out of that dugout too to come out for the 6th.
Full count to Cowser. He walked earlier, part of that 31-pitch first inning.
When you're 90-something pitches after the 5th and the manager says, hey, look, we need you for another one, you are like, yes, please, let's go.
3-2. Strike 3 called. He dots him up, down, and in. Perfect slider from Logan Gilbert and a huge second out.
They're just starting to land pitches. And going back to one of Cowser's earlier at bats, he threw the same pitch but missed on the inner half of the plate. Could have been challengeable. Mitch Garver elected not to do it. That first at bat he faced Cowser. This time doesn't need that challenge. Big strikeout, getting that second out here in the 6th inning. Chance for him to finish strong here and go 6 strong.
Low ball 1. What's going on? Let's see. Garver, like he and Gilbert were.
Gilbert got something in his eye.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why Garver wasn't throwing the ball back. Good feel. Good teammate. Weekly hit on the ground. Naylor with Gilbert covering. He steps on the bag. Logan Gilbert, what a recovery tonight in Baltimore. 6 strong, allowing just 1 run. What a performance. Gilbert retires the final 14 batters that he faces and is able to get through 6, allowing just the 1 run. What a Houdini act from Logan, the way that this game started.
Yeah, that was a grind, especially those first couple of innings. But once he got to the 4th, 5th, and 6th, he basically said, hey, listen, just bear with me, to his coaching staff, and he can finally crack a smile. But, man, he was running a marathon early on. And he got some quick outs. And he got better and better as this game went along, able to cover 6 innings.
Well, the thing is, we knew that the Mariners needed innings from him as Cole Young leads things off. He threw 105 pitches tonight. Only 3 different starts in his career has he ever thrown more. This is down the line slicing and foul. He was just 5 pitches shy of his all-time career high in this game. And as Luis is still fanning him off, the fact that he was able to stretch that very high pitch count through 6 innings, especially when you consider the fact that he took nearly 60 pitches to get through 2, is amazing.
Yeah, it is. And especially, look, I said this in the 5th inning. You go back in, Dan Wilson says, hey, listen, we need you to go back out, because you don't want to get it cut short, right? You don't want to go 5 and dive, put it that way. None of these guys do. And he would say, hey, listen, I need you back out for that 6th. And he charged out of the mound, too, in that 6th inning. It just gives you that little extra spark of energy knowing that you get a chance to finish strong.
Good take by Young, who's happened to be facing a righty for the first time, trying to extend that career best 11-game hit streak. Logan all smiles. Man, it was a frustrating start.
Yeah, and you could see it written all over his face too. He just wasn't getting any chase, especially below the strike zone. The split wasn't doing a whole lot. Had to go slider heavy.
Because here's the other thing. I'm guessing that Dan Wilson never said to him, hey, the bullpen is short, we need you to pitch. That's not exactly how it works, but he knows.
Yeah, he knows. You know, I'm telling you.
He knows exactly the situation.
Not to mention, too, with all that traffic early, the fact you're looking at that score and you see the 1, it's that little Oriole logo down there in the bottom right corner. That's unbelievable.
It all ends well tonight for Gilbert. The 2-2. Chopping to Holiday at second base. Leadoff man retired. Mariners leading here in the 7th with 1 out. If you look at the Mariners starters the last 4 games, it's been really good.
Yeah,
the innings and more importantly, the run prevention. Just a grand total of 3 runs allowed by the Mariners starters the last 4 games.
Yeah, Bryce Miller had some of his best stuff. Luis Castillo first start back. Getting out of that little piggyback situation. Emerson, it was a battle for him too. I spoke to him before the game today. I spoke to him about that exchange he had with Johnny Pareda, and it was a fun conversation, just talking about how fired up he was. He loves throwing to Johnny Pareda. He loves how athletic he is behind the plate, how good he has gotten at being on the same page with some of his rotation mates. But it was a battle for him. It just no give in. There's Luis Castillo.
1-2 to Bliss. Batting 9th, Victor Robles is on deck.
And we showed that exchange we're talking about on the mound as Ryan Bliss goes down on strikes. But we showed that after the outing from Emerson Hancock, and that happened in that 3rd inning. He had all kinds of traffic behind him. Johnny Pareda had come out. He stepped off a few times as well, and he was so convicted with some of the pitches. Johnny Pareda was essentially going to plan B, thinking that maybe Emerson didn't want to go with his strengths, and that was trying to land that sweeper. And he said, no, let's go. I've got this. He said, we've got this. We're all on the same page. And it worked out for him.
Well, tough play by Mayo over at third. It was Victor's speed, and Robles is safe. A right-on-right at-bat for Robles, and he's able to work an infield base hit out of it.
And again, you see Kobe Mayo charging in on this ball, but throws offline a little bit. Tell you what, Pete Alonso's been all over the floor over there at first base. Keeping that ball in front of him.
2-out base runner for Julio. Robles dancing around over there, drawing the eye of Sam Huff behind the plate. 1-0.
You see all that there from Pete Alonso. You think he's probably diving into bases, but that's from playing the field.
At the knees.
Andrew Kittredge hit the IL early this year. Big part of the back end of this bullpen, but they're just slowly bringing him into higher leverage situations. A shoulder issue.
He's had a great career now, 36 years old. Drafted out of the University of Washington in a round that no longer exists. And Victor slow to get out. And time called as he needs a minute.
Yeah, he's kind of hitting his right shoulder. Oh, yeah, looks like he jammed his right shoulder into the base.
That wrist goes hard into the bag. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he's telling me they're okay, but you can tell right now the staff just triple checking how hard he plays. That shoulder injury earlier on.
Kittredge was drafted by the Mariners out of high school in the 45th round. Did not sign. Went to the University of Washington. And then signed as an undrafted free agent, something that's very uncommon. This is hit hard, scalded up the middle. Man, you could hear that from Utah Street. Julio is aboard. First and second.
Tell you what, the Mariners are in the driver's seat right here, 3-run lead, but you'd love to get a couple extra runs just because of the shortage of that bullpen, just not having the same arms available.
That was 115 off the bat from Julio. Man. It sounded every bit of it, too. A strike to Randy.
Yeah, I think about this all the time. You mentioned the round he was drafted in, but things that become extinct in the game, and I feel like I get, as I get more and more removed from my playing career, and you don't want to bring up something similar to that. Like kids look at me like, "Oh, how old are you?" Like back when pitchers used to hit, you know, when I dropped one of those, or we didn't have the pitch comp back in my day. It sounds further and further removed from the game. He's still pitching, obviously.
Line left field, base hit. Robles is being waved home. Kowser's throw is to the plate and not in time. Robles scores and a big run across for the Mariners. 4-1 in the 7th.
Randy just continues. We're talking about all that damage he's done to right field, but tonight a couple hard hit balls into left field, just jumping over this hanging slider middle of the plate. And this with 2 outs too. Robles, saw him jam that shoulder. Watching this slide. That's that left hand. He's all right. That'll be it for Kittredge.
Keegan Aiken, lefty, warming up. Naylor due up next. We've got a pitching change. Mariners TV is brought to you by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Make a play for your health. The Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. By your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. Beautiful night in Baltimore, the Inner Harbor. Mariners leading 4-1 and threatening for more here in the 7th. Randy's driven in a run in his 4th consecutive game. The Orioles make a call to their bullpen. One of 2 lefties they have out there. Keegan Aiken takes over.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. You see that ERA over 8. And a little bit better against lefties than he has righties. But still having a tough time here, 16 2/3.
He has been a low leverage reliever for the Orioles and pitching here down 3 runs with 2 on. Swatted right field, but hanging up there for O'Neill. Makes the catch. Side retired. Mariners strand 2, but they grab another run and they lead it by 3.
Foods Market.
Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Lottery. Washington's lottery helps fund the Washington Grant. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships. Logan Gilbert, my goodness, was it a struggle early with pitch efficiency hype, and 1 run in the 1st and then lockdown mode and became much more efficient after that.
Yeah, he got better and better as this game went along. The slider really bailed him out early. You see all these strikeouts all against the slider, 5 of them. Didn't have that good feel for that heater and that split too. A pitch that he's been throwing a lot more with 2 strikes. He's brought that pitch back. We saw plenty of it last year, but just didn't have the same effectiveness. But 105 pitches he was going in to that 6th inning, around the mid-90s in that pitch count. Got a chance to finish off and finish strong.
So Alex Hoppe is in. Hard hit ground ball. Young recovers and not in time. Mayo is aboard. It was hit right to Young, but at 110 miles an hour, got on him fast. And traffic right away.
That ball skipping up. The new shortstop, Cole Young, having to play short. Cole Emerson. He's on the bench right now dealing with some back issues. Obviously J.P. Crawford on the IL. Yeah, that ball got on him quick. Really no chance of the speed getting down the line.
It's an error on Young. Holiday rattles this one up the line. It's staying fair. Hoppe picks it up. He flips, and Naylor wasn't at the bag. The game really sped up on him. That was a really impossible play based on where Naylor was positioned. And the Mariners are trying to see if maybe there's a chance there's an out on this play.
Yeah, this is a tough play right here. First of all, good job right here. Alex Hoppe staying with this play and trying to make the toss. But you can see Josh Naylor just kind of getting caught. You mentioned the fact it sped up on him. Yeah, he stood there backed up, didn't know if Alex was going to get to that ball. But really, there's going to be very little chance to get back to that base anyway.
So if you're Hoppe there, I know everything is happening in a split second. Is your best bet to let that hopefully roll foul based on where Naylor was positioned?
In that situation right there, if you're a pitcher, you just got to go hard towards the ball until you get completely called off. You can see Josh Naylor not calling anyone off right there, but you're right. Option A, if there's no way the first baseman is going to be back to that bag, you just got to hope and pray that ball goes foul. Tough play.
Wow, now 2 on and nobody out. This is the tightest game that Hoppy has pitched in his young big league career.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity right here for Alex Hoppy. When he first got to the big leagues, I asked around, and the one thing with Alex Hoppy, we know about the stuff. Everything's got that downward movement to it, but the game can speed up on him a little bit. We've seen that. He's in a big spot. A 4-1 lead right here.
On the ground, Young to second, on to first, in time, huge double play. Finally a ground ball that the Mariners can make into an out. How about two?
That is huge. Look, Tyler O'Neill is usually extremely patient at the plate, and knowing he's facing a young Alex Hoppy, maybe going to make him work a little bit, but getting aggressive here on the second pitch of the at-bat. We talked about that downward move from Alex Hoppy. This can be a big weapon with that depth on that slider and that sinker, and get that ground ball. Quick 2 outs.
Basayo is out there. He is batting for Huff. We saw him off the bench in last night's game.
They drove a ball into center field. How about the power potential?
Runner at third, 2 outs. Well, for Hoppy, you think about what this appearance is like for him. He has never pitched in a game in regulation that has been this close. The Mariners have either been trailing or been up by more than 4. A weak wave and a miss on a good slider down. It's 1-2.
Again, the sinker and the slider, these are his big weapons. Straight downward slider, depth to that pitch. It's a matter of commanding that. He could be pitching in these situations a lot more moving forward.
The 1-2. Oh man, it lands 10 feet in front of home and skips to the backstop. And the Orioles get gifted a run. A leadoff error. And comes around to score now on a wild pitch.
Now you'll see this too. Look, Alex Hoppy, young pitcher, first run through the big leagues, has a really good pitch to Basayo, get him swing and miss, and then you try and make it a little bit better, and this is what happens. Just burying that pitch, 56 feet. Wow.
That is in at 99. It's being challenged, and it's not going to be close. Orioles will be down to 1 challenge after this. That is very much a strike. So Hoppy finishes the 7th. The run does score. It's a 2-run game moving to the 8th.
Financial need will meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
Well, the MLB All-Star Ballot is officially live. You can go to mariners.com/vote to cast your ballots daily and send your favorite players for the Midsummer Classic in Philadelphia. You can vote 5 times per day. Mariners.com/vote. Ref Snyder leading things off. It's a 2-run game now. We begin the 8th inning. Now, what a frustrating bottom of the 7th that was for the Orioles. They had runners at first and second with nobody out, and get just the 1 run on a wild pitch. Double play ball off the bat of O'Neill, and the strikeout looking to Basayo to end the inning. Hangs up for a while, then to shallow right. O'Neill is there to put it away.
Yeah, and you mentioned Alex Hoppy having a chance to have that situation. Not quite sure what the bullpen plan was going to be. And we see Gabe Spire get loose. He went back-to-back. He had yesterday off. So 3 of the last 4. And again, still pretty fresh from that IL stint, the shoulder injury he had.
I would say that given the fact that Spire is up, it's a pretty clear indication that
now where are you going with this?
Bizzardo is down. Now you could say, are they saving Brash for the 9th? Munoz, we assume, is down, but Brash could be down as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, with Matt Brash throwing 2 of the last 3, a lot more cautious with him.
And it was obviously an adventure to say the least yesterday.
Yeah, it was, for sure. I mean, he threw 18 pitches in that inning. I'm thinking could be Ferrer for the 9th, potentially, if Munoz is down.
Two out Scarver. There is Ferrer. 9th very well could be his tonight. On the corner. It's the top of the order for the Orioles when we get to the bottom of the 8th.
It's got halfway through Gatorade, who knows?
Staying away from Garver, 0-2. Munoz back-to-back. He is most certainly down. You're right about Brash. 2 of the last 3. Cooper Criswell was placed on the injured list today. Nick Davila recalled. Bizzardo has gone 2 straight. One and 2. Now, how huge was it that the Mariners got that run in the 7th on a Rosarena's base hit to left? Otherwise, it's a 1-run game.
There with 2 outs. I think that does as well. I mean, at the time it became 4-1, but you know, it stretches that Orioles bullpen a little bit. You're not going to see the backhand guys. If it's a 1-run game situation, you're probably going to see more of the back end of that bullpen. Aiken back out there.
Well, this is rattling around between Aiken's ankles, and he's safe. He lobbed a beanbag to first base. Garver running hard the whole way, and he is safe at first.
Wow.
It's that catcher speed.
I mean, that ball was never coming down. It just kind of hung up there as floating as Mitch Garver was trying to. But yeah, he took a look too. He bobbled it. You see Eric Young Jr.'s reaction too.
Wow. Hopefully the Mariners can take advantage. Left on left for Young, a strike on the top rail. I mean, if you're a catcher, you gotta love the game of the home run and the infield base hit, right? That really shows off your full athletic ability. All right, top of the zone now, bottom of the zone. 0-2 quickly on Young.
Yeah, some guys off the mound too, whether PFP's in spring training or it's, you know, late September, they just get programmed where they just want to underarm that ball. And you can see him bobble, Aiken bobbling that ball around, and then just like that, throwing a beat back at first base.
They have ruled it a throwing error on Aiken.
Wow.
I guess a slow lob will get you an E1.
I'm calling the press box from the dugout saying, listen, you got to turn that over.
I will field the phone call from Kevin Seitzer
there's a phone
tonight,
right
walking back to the hotel. Seitz, I know, man. I'll talk to him. I'll do my best. This is skied into shallow left field. Towser in, makes the catch. A man left to the bottom of the 8th. 2-run game. Spires coming on.
Gonna Jock in the Box.
Mariners TV is brought to you by Holland America, Seattle's hometown cruise line, offering convenient round-trip Alaska sailings from Seattle. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Camden Yards. Tonight, game 2 of 4, a close one. 2-run game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gabe Spire has the top of the order and the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, with a hefty workload the last couple of days too. Again, we're talking about being pretty fresh off that IL stint. I think he did the world of good though. He has been a different guy since coming back. The velocity's back, that finish on that sinking fastball.
Tough at bat to begin things in Taylor Ward. On the ground, Young is able to get there, pops up onto first, and he just took a hit away. Cole Young flashing the leather.
Well, just the 2 innings last year at shortstop. Got a chance to play last night, but only got the 1 ball hit to him. Tonight he's been all over the place, some big plays. Nothing bigger than that right there. At the top of the lineup, Taylor Ward getting that first big out late in this game.
A great stretch by Naylor over there. Young's reaction. Pretty subdued.
Yeah.
Still more work to do. He knows that. Here is Gunnar Henderson left on left. Oh, on guard. A sword from Spire.
That's a good sign, that 96. Again, that finish on that pitch, up and in. This is such a weapon left on left for Gabe Spire. We just simply didn't see that before the IL stint.
He goes right back up there at 96. So Spire worked back-to-back games for the first time since coming off the IL. Had yesterday off and back on the mound today. So 3rd time in 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, 2. Flick softly in the air. Wisdom patrolling foul ground, and he puts it away. 2 outs. Well, tomorrow, George Kirby will take the ball for the Mariners. We're on the air at 3:30 Pacific time. Brian Wu on Thursday versus Kyle Bradish. Good matchup there. That game will be televised exclusively on ESPN. We'll be back with you on Friday in D.C. for Game 1 against the Nats. Here's Alonso. Only a 2-run lead. Orioles down to their final 4 outs.
He's excited. Making himself a bat right after this game.
And Alonso is saying it hit him, and now our home plate umpire is right on board with that. And Dan Wilson wants to check with the video room to see if that actually is what happened. This will bring the tying run to the plate.
That hit him. Waving it off.
No challenge coming.
Yeah, get another look. This is a slider. Chance to face Pete Alonso.
Pinch hitting for Colton Cowser. A swing and a miss on a fastball over the plate. Cowser, a left-handed bat, gets pulled here. Alexander has hit lefties fairly well this year. Cowser batting .077 and just 13 at-bats left on left. He just hasn't had many opportunities, and you can understand why. Alexander, who was in the starting lineup last night, big rip and a miss. He's gone right after him with a couple of fastballs there.
Yeah, consistently that good velocity too. Again, righties were hit 360 before that IL stint against Gabe Spire back in April. They're 0 for 6 since.
2 outs. Alonso at first, tying run at the plate. Spire's 1-2. Cracked right field. Robles giving ground, scampering back in front of the track, and he makes the catch. Gabe Spire a scoreless 8 as he makes his way through the top of the Orioles order.
Well, it's good to see Ryan Bliss back here with the big club. What about this at bat? Look, he had a big sac fly to get the scoring started last night. We've got Trevor Rogers trying to put him away. We talked about the struggles he's had putting guys away. Tell you what, Ryan Bliss just staying in this at bat, seeing everything but the kitchen sink. Fastball, sweepers, little change up right here. Able to drive that ball into right center field.
11 pitch AB, longest at bat of his career. New pitcher on the mound, Tyler Wells. Over the heart of the plate for strike one. Top of the order is next. Mariners would love to play a little add-on here. Big swing and a miss on a fastball up. 0-2. On the ground and fairly hard, but right to gunner Henderson. One away. Well, we now have a clear idea as to what the Mariners bullpen plan is and who is down, as Ferrer is warming up inside the Mariners bullpen, so we can put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Bizzardo down, Munoz down, Brash is down. So with all that in mind, 6 innings from Logan Gilbert was just a
huge.
Massive key for this one.
Yeah, it really was. It was huge. Yeah, and then a couple thoughts too, just on Gabe Spire, gone 3 of the last 4 days, but he was 95, 96. Really good indication that he is 100% healthy. Matter of fact, looked better than what he did in the month of April in regards to pitch quality. But you got Jose Ferrer, who's filled in a couple times as that closer spot if Munoz has been down. He's got 3 saves already.
This is tackled by Henderson. No, it's not. It gets past him, and Robles has himself a base hit. His second today.
God, we were talking about this in that 4th inning, coming out, getting a 1-2-3 inning from Logan Gilbert just to kind of shut down any momentum. You feel like that momentum and the game, everything's gone in the Mariners' favor since that point. That was early on in that game. They just keep threatening. Traffic all over the place. You get into that Orioles bullpen.
And 10 hits tonight for the Mariners. Strike one to Julio. His last at bat, he singled up the middle. It was the hardest hit ball this year from Julio, nearly 115 off the bat. Now the corner.
Yeah, not to mention too, again, just we talked about the Mariners bullpen usage, but even on the Orioles side too, right? You get Kittredge, who's slowly working his way back to higher leverage, but then you have a situation where Aiken here has really struggled, and you're not going to see the back end of that Orioles bullpen. It hasn't been great, but it just changes the game when you all of a sudden get ahead and you're able to shut it down. I mean, Wells has had a rough month of May. It just gives you more opportunities to pile on right here.
Victor is out and got him leaning. This is becoming a problem for the Mariners, especially late in games. This cannot continue to happen for the M's.
Yeah, he had a huge lead. And all that body weight, look at that, all that body weight on that right foot. No chance to get back to the base.
You go back to that final game with Detroit. The Mariners had a runner picked off at first base in the 9th inning that day. And the Mariners had something happen similar earlier on this trip as well, as Julio strikes out. Then all of a sudden, now the inning is over. Well, 2 runs. That's the lead for the Mariners. And Jose Ferrer has the ball in the bottom of the 9th.
Liberty, Liberty.
Well, it's come down to this in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mariners are clinging to a 2-run lead. They have out-hit the Orioles 10-4, but a bloop and a blast ties this one up. The Mariners are down key leverage arms in this game. It was Spire in the 8th, and now Ferrer to get the save in the 9th.
And Ferrer's 3 for 3 this year. Save opportunities. He had 1 against the Cardinals, 1 against the Braves, and 1 against the White Sox. Look at those numbers, 1.55 ERA. He's got better and better as this year's gone on. 3 for 4, excuse me.
Tavares showing a bunt, and this is being wisely challenged. Garver, who has been exceptional this year, one of the highest success rates of any catcher with the ABS system, and he's won another one. I would imagine that would it be harder to challenge, you think, with a bunt right in front of you?
I was just about to say, I mean, we haven't seen that. I don't know if we've seen it all this year, but yeah, guys showing bunt, you're trying to pay attention to that. You got to spring up and try and get to that ball, and put a barrel in front of you as well.
That's now 0-2. Well, this is the pitch that was challenged. First pitch tonight from Ferrer. Oh, well, I'm not taking anything
Wasn't
away.
too bad.
Wasn't that bad of a bunt.
Easy pitch.
Still
Easy pitch challenge.
Still a great challenge by Garver. Defensive swing, trying to stay alive, 0-2.
Now, last time we saw Ferrer was in Detroit. That last game. Didn't have the best command. Was able to battle through it.
Munoz has pitched back-to-back games. He is unavailable tonight. Fouls away 97 on the top rail.
Let me get a little bit extra extension on this changeup right here. Get some depth to that pitch.
Was the change, but misses too far away. Does not entice Leody Taveras to swing. 2-2.
Go back to that pitch. If you go 3-2.
Time called.
You go 3-2, you're going to kind of sit out in front from those two back-to-back changeups.
Yeah, it's 4 balls in this league. A violation. Who's it on?
Wow.
He just struck out a pitch timer violation because he thought it was ball 4 the pitch prior. Wow, what a break for the Mariners.
I'll take it.
Wow.
Man, I tell you what, if I'm Ferrer on the mound too, you're trying to find that changeup. There was no argument either whatsoever. Taveras is just kind of walking off. Man, you'll take that here in the 9th inning. 3 toughest outs to get.
I mean, of any time in the game to lead off the 9th inning, 1 down. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kobe Mayo.
How about that? Wow. That's a big out, right? Obviously, 9th inning, first out. You're trying to. Leody Taveras he's having a good battle right there with Ferrer. He does better against lefties. Ferrer trying to find that changeup and just get him out on a pitch clock violation.
Over the plate, 2-2, 98 on the heater from Ferrer, and the count evens. Time call. Orioles down 2 runs, down to their final 2 outs. Ferrer spraying it a little bit here.
Yeah.
He is working for the 3rd time in 4 days.
Again, that changeup's kind of eluding him a little bit, the command of it. He lost the feel for that pitch that last time out, was able to battle through it. See if he can find it right here.
Finds the corner at 99, and Mayo able to spoil it foul. Ferrer's run a full count to each of the first 2 batters. Hang on time here for the Mariners in the bottom of the 9th. 3-2. Finds that corner again.
Yeah, you can just see Mayo sitting on that fastball. If somehow Ferrer can dig deep right here and try and land that changeup, might get a big swing and miss. He's probably going to stay with that fastball.
Oh, this is a rocket. It's a 1-run game. Crushed. Way gone.
Yeah, I just got done talking about him being sitting on that fastball. You can eliminate that changeup because he's sitting on the on-deck circle knowing he can't land that pitch. The at-bat prior to that to Tavares. Couldn't land it. That at-bat is a 3-2. Sit dead red, got something middle of the plate. Took it deep.
A mistake pitch from Ferrer. And if you subscribe to the adage that home runs aren't hit, they're thrown, that would be an example right there. Jeremiah Jackson batting on the corner, 98. Dots it for a strike. He's batting for Holiday. Ground ball. It is almost going to hit the bag. Wisdom's got no play. It would have hit the bag if Wisdom had it cut it off. He was hoping it would roll foul, and at that point it was too late. Tying run aboard. A winning run will come to the plate.
All of a sudden the Orioles got a bit of a heartbeat happening here in the 9th inning. Yeah, that ball's not hooking at all. There's really no play. See what Wisdom's playing too on the line. See Josh Naylor coming over the mound. A little bit of a 9th inning pep talk. We've seen him do that multiple times, especially with Andres Munoz. We saw Tyler O'Neill being aggressive that last at bat, grounding out, do a big double play.
Double play would end the game. So would a home run. Challenge coming here. Was that on the corner? It's a strike. Wow. Garver 2 for 2 this inning.
Just owning that down and in challenge twice in this inning.
Nearly 100 again, 0-2 in the blink of an eye to O'Neill.
Well, 2 really good changeups. The one to Jackson, the at-bat before that, the ball that kind of rolled down that third base line, got him out in front. Looks like he may have found that pitch. Just changes the at-bat. You can't just sit dead red on that heater.
0-2. 100 inside. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Everything in this at bat has pretty much been inner half of the plate. You see Tyler O'Neill's in pull mode right now, trying to drive something to left field. See if we can get him reaching something down in the way, get him to roll over something.
Another 1-2. Inside. Everything missing in, or at least the majority. Short bullpen tonight for Dan Wilson. Fly ball. Robles chasing, watching, and it's a ground rule double. What enormous break for the Mariners. My goodness. It saves a run, and Jackson has to stop at third. Otherwise, this game is tied.
That was a good piece of hitting right there from Tyler O'Neill. We talked about him being in pull mode. He pretty much pulls everything he hits, around 47%. Kind of inside out. Says he inside out the pitch before this too, where he fouled it off. But you said a huge break right there for the Mariners. That ball bouncing into the seats.
Pete Woodworth on his way out. You know, interesting, we have not seen Adley Rutschman at all in this series. Basayo pinch hit for Huff earlier. This is a left on left. They have been very tight-lipped, the Orioles, as to what's going on with Rutschman. You would imagine that this would be a time where you would hit Rutschman, a switch hitter, and have him face the lefty, but you can see he's got a shirt on. He's playing tonight is not at all in the plan. So the bench is empty now for the Orioles because Rutschman's not going to play.
Yeah, it's definitely not a performance thing of late, too. He's gotten better and better from both sides of the plate.
All right, so the infield in. Basayo at the plate. Good start, strike one. 100 dots the lower inside corner. Tying run, Jackson at third.
This is nice with a little extra sink too, getting down and in under the hands.
Chopping and foul.
Will be dangerous.
I'd say the adrenaline's amped up for Ferrer. Back-to-back 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. I mean, you think about this from the Orioles' point of view. A fly ball can tie it, and a base hit can tie, if not possibly win it.
Right.
The 0-2. Rattled up the line. Ferrer throws home. Everybody is safe. This game is tied.
Oh, this is just straight desperation from Ferrer trying to make this play. Look, before the pitch is thrown, you got to know where you're going to be going. A slow roller with the speed coming down the third base line, really no chance of making that play unless it's a little firm, and then you just have to get that out. As much as it's tough to see that tying run across the plate, you're just digging for outs in this situation.
Runners on the corners, one out, top of the order. Ward backs away on a pitch up. Well, Jackson reached base on a ground ball that nearly hit third base, and he comes around on a dribbler halfway up the line to first.
And this is a big test for Ferrer. I know he's been in this situation before, but can he untether himself to what he just did from that last at bat? He's probably full of frustration right now. He's going to overthrow some of these pitches.
Well, he's at a season high 30 pitches, working for the third time in 4 days. Healthy fly ball can win it. Strike on the top rung.
And you know what? You give up the lead, just try and salvage, just keep your team in it. Seems just trying to let it eat again. Plenty of frustration.
Is there anything about being careful here with Ward with a lefty on deck, Henderson?
Well, you've got the winner on the third base, so it's not a matter of letting Basayo get into second. But I think right now, if you're Ferrer in this situation, yeah, you got the lefty coming up, but you go after him. If you can get to a good count, you can go for the throw. However, if you start missing, you get 2-0, 2-1, then you know what? You're not going to go back inside the strike zone and give him anything to hit.
Well, how about here on 3-2?
I think you have to throw something to get him to chase in this situation. Tough guy to get chased. We know about the plate discipline. But this is a time where if you had that changeup down the way, if you had that good consistency in that feel for it, that would be a weapon. But I think you're going to try and see him either changeup or a heater at the top of the zone.
It is just in. Now the bases are loaded.
Again, this is a fast. You can see where Mitch Garver is setting up that glove, trying to get him to the top part of the strike zone. Again, he's still anchoring on that one play, or a couple plays actually early in this inning.
Ground ball, Wisdom throws home, and they get the force at home plate. The game continues. Henderson frustrated. O'Neill is out.
I'm kind of surprised Gunnar Henderson was that aggressive. It's left on left in this situation. Probably thinking he's going to just cough up a hitter middle of the plate. You see him just trying to push that ball into left field, but I'm surprised he didn't make Ferrer work a little bit. You're already at the high stress mark where you're 30 pitches plus in, and you got to make all the pressure out there is on the mound. He gave him an out right there. Good play by Patrick Wisdom as well.
2 outs, bases loaded.
We've seen Pete Alonso in this situation multiple times already in these 2 games.
He batted twice last night with the bases loaded, and now hitting here with the bags packed with 2 outs in the 9th, a chance to win it. They now need a hit. Two and 0.
Now keep in mind too, Goldie, we saw a different inning, but we saw Pete Alonso with the green light 3-0 against Matt Brash with the bases loaded last night.
Basayo the winning run at third. Ooh. The Orioles have scored 2 in the 9th to tie. Count evens. Ferrer trying to get this game to the 10th.
There's the center cut fastball. You can see these Oriole hitters just hunting that fastball. Why? Because Ferrer just hasn't shown the ability to land those secondary pitches.
It's been all fastballs to Alonso. 2-2. The career high pitch count for Ferrer at any game dating back to his time with the Nationals is 43. He's at 40 in the 9th. 2-2 again. All right, where do you go now? Running on fumes, 41 pitches, and you are out of room for Alonso.
Well, it's going to be a fastball right here. He's going to challenge it middle of the plate. He hasn't got that command. The changeup is not there for him. Slider's not there for him. He's going to challenge him. Alonso's going to be sitting heater right here. Try and get above that barrel if you can.
Here it comes. Ground ball up the middle. Bliss has it. A foot race. He is out at second base. The sprint was on, and Bliss wins to send this to the 10th. The Orioles want a challenge, and they might as well. Of course, they should.
Yeah, you mentioned the foot race. Let's see if he gets that foot in there before that right hand.
Well, this series tonight, the second game, has been defined in so many ways by just a game of inches. They will have to find something convincing to overturn this. It's a smart challenge by the Orioles. You got nothing to lose here. Quick review. Here we go.
After review, it was confirmed the runner's out.
Incredible.
Wow.
The Mariners had the right guy at second base tonight.
Yes.
Bliss with the speed. And we march on to the 10th inning. All tied at 4.
See your Western Washington Hyundai dealer.
What a wild one. What a wild series in just 2 games so far. This was what the umpires looked at in New York to confirm that Bliss got to the bag first.
Yeah, and he definitely beat it. But, I mean, look at this play from Ryan Bliss. First of all, you're going to make sure it's ball first, right? You're going to make sure you make the play. The ball's bouncing towards you. And then the foot race is on you. Cole Young's obviously shaded to the left. He's nowhere to be seen. It's all you. Goldie, you mentioned, too, the right guy playing second base in that foot race.
Automatic runner is Julio. And a first pitch strike. Rico Garcia has been incredible for the Orioles this year. Go ahead run Julio at second base. Randy at the plate. Garcia pitching for the first time this series. Fly ball driven deep. It spins O'Neill around, and it's gone! It's gone! It's a home run to lead off the 10th inning. A 2-run homer from Randy Arozarena, and the Mariners take the lead right back in Baltimore.
I mean, what can he not do in 2026? Randy Arozarena talked about all that contact to right field, all those doubles to right field too. Look at this. Not the easiest pitch to drive deep into the night out there here in Camden Yards, but my goodness. And you mentioned too, Rico Garcia, how good he has been. We flashed up those numbers. Quickly, the Mariners are up 6-4 here in the 10th.
Randy, who is fairly muted on the field at times. A lot of emotion there. Yeah, they're going to get the band together now.
He's asking Ferrer to jump in. There it is.
What a trip for Randy. 10 for 19 now. This is skied into shallow right field. What a way. Now, Rico Garcia has been pitching like an all-star. And he gives up a leadoff 2-run homer. Don't get to say that too often. It is Canzone batting for Refsnyder.
Yeah, he showed that ERA was a flat 1, just went to 1.32 here in the 30th game. Again, we talked about that bullpen, right, where the Mariners kind of were in charge the whole night since that 3rd inning. So you don't see those back-end guys. You don't see a Rico Garcia. And all of a sudden here in the 10th, especially too when the Orioles had all that momentum back, grinding out Jose Ferrer, getting him throwing 40-plus pitches, come back in this game. Dom Canzone start yesterday.
Stays alive 0-2. Now Ferrer, nearly a career high in pitches, working for the 3rd time in 4 days. Now the Mariners getting 2 runs to help him out here in the top of the 10th. Good take by Canzone, 1-2.
Yeah, it is. That's a pitch, that changeup. That's a pitch he had struggled with for a little bit. Matter of fact, he had a double off a changeup from Caden Montero back in Detroit.
Canzone able to get the count even. Was behind 0-2, now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's most likely getting another changeup right here if he can lay off and get that 3-2 heater and just be on the attack.
Off the end of the bat, it was the changeup. Mayo on the run. 2 down. Well, we mentioned it's a short bullpen tonight for the Mariners, and this is the last man standing. Nick Davila just recalled today. Unfortunately, Cooper Criswell having to land on the injured list before the game started. So Davila is the only man left, and he will be pitching in a save situation in the bottom of the 10th inning.
How about that? Throwing to the Wolves as soon as he gets back to the big leagues. We talked about Alex Hoppe pitching in that tight spot early in this game in that 7th inning. Davila's like, hold on a minute, I got the 10th. A runner at second base behind me in a 2-run game. Randy, as he often does down the dugout, admiring his swing.
1-2. High lift. This has some carry to it. Onto the warning track. It just keeps on going, but it falls shy of the wall for out number 3. A Rosarena. 2-run opposite field homer. The Mariners playing from in front and playing the guitar down in that dugout to the bottom of the 10th. Mariners playing with a 2-run lead going to the bottom of the 10th. They had a 2-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th, and the Orioles tied it up to force extras. But Rosarena's leadoff home run has given the Mariners the lead right back. And Nick Davila, pitching in his 8th career Major League game, is pitching for the save in extra innings on the road.
Yeah, how about that? With the runner at second base, too. You think about it, though, he made his debut against the Royals, and then right after they hit the road, remember, we didn't have a Matt Brasher or Gabe Spire. That's why Nick Davila came up. He pitched in some pretty tight games on that road trip. He pitched really well, but nothing bigger than this game right here in the 10th inning.
Alonso the runner. Ooh, and he hits Alexander on the very first pitch. Not a great start.
Yeah, this is a slider. You're going to see this pitch around 60% of the time. Just spinning out the side of his hand.
Just recalled today. The last man standing in the Mariners bullpen who was available. Winning run is now at the plate in Leody Taveras, switch hitter. Corners were coming in expecting a possible bunt. It's 0-2. Orioles without a hit with a runner in scoring position. Hard hit ground ball up the middle, base hit. Alonso being waved in. He will score. Alexander held at third base, tying run 90 feet away with nobody out.
This is one thing that Davila's first stint in the big leagues, he struggled with a little bit, getting that swing, big swing and miss when he needed it. It's just a backing up slider with 2 strikes. Too much of the plate. Now the Orioles are cooking once again here in the 10th.
One-run game. Base hit ties it. Here's Mayo. Infield is in. It's a strike. It was Mayo who hit a monster home run in the 9th inning to make it a 1-run game. The bench is effectively empty for Baltimore. The only man left is Adley Rutschman, who clearly is completely unavailable for the 2nd straight game. Naylor going back. Bliss. He's got a tough angle. He lays out and he makes the catch. Ryan Bliss, Superman in short right field. And there is the first out of the bottom of the 10th.
I mean, this is an unbelievable play because you're waiting for, you're looking around looking for Josh Naylor to think he's going to be under this play. And he's yelling for it. Has to dive at the last minute. And think about how big that play was to get that third out at second base.
Meeting on the mound. Yeah, that ball drops. Alexander was halfway down the line. This game's tied. That was a do or die right there for Ryan Bliss, who had the foot race out to send this game to extras.
I think Davila's got to find that slider, and he's got to find it quick. Ball's backing up, coming out the side of his hand.
Jeremiah Jackson began the game on the bench.
Yeah, he got some speed at the plate. The infield's pulled in.
Tying run at third. Ground ball, foul.
Yeah, Sinker can run in on the hands, get that ball on the ground. Infield's pulled in. And the priority is to keep that runner at third, but if it gets hit hard enough, Ryan Bliss is right around the bag.
Chopping, Wisdom, tricky hop. Throws from foul ground, play at the plate, and he's out at home! Another out at home, started by Patrick Wisdom at third. 2 outs and the Mariners still in front.
They got to challenge this for sure, but nice play right here. We talked about the priority was to keep that runner at third base. Running hard on contact right there.
Now this is another what do you have to lose kind of challenge if you're the Orioles.
They're having to throw around the runner as well.
Wisdom has been tested not once but now twice over there on a play at the plate, and this one even more complicated than the other.
Yeah, this is a good look right here to see if Mitch Garver can get that tag before that hand gets over the plate. Ooh. Wow. It's tough to see. Plus, you got all that dirt going over the plate.
I was thinking the same thing. It really covers up the front edge of the plate. Wow.
I mean, the advantage too, the fact the play was called out to begin with, is it's going to be tough to see. They got more angles, but another look right here. All that dirt's covering up the corner of that plate.
Can you tell me that his hand is definitively touching the front edge of the plate? Here we go. Find out.
After review, the call stands. Runners out.
Wow. I think the dirt plays a big role here.
Absolutely. Because again, we talked about the advantage. The Mariners have the advantage because the play was called out to begin with. See the frustration on that bench with the Orioles. Amazing play for Pat Wisdom, but yeah, the dirt being the factor, covering up that white.
What a tricky angle for Wisdom. All right, Mariners not quite out of the woods yet. One more out to go. Tying run at second base now. And Leody Taveras. Strike one. Tyler O'Neill at the plate. Oh, and 2. Heat at the knees. O'Neill challenging this. It is a strike, and now O'Neill and the Orioles down to their final strike tonight.
Again, if there's ever a time for Davila to find that slider, he hasn't had it in this inning at all. He's got to rely on that sinking heater. You can bury this slider right here. There it is.
He went with the slider. That's a good take there by O'Neill. Davila is pitching in his 8th big league game. Trying to lock down a 10th inning save. On a 1-2.
Just trying to overthrow that heater right there. You know, so Tyler O'Neill inside out that ball all the way out to right center field. Usually pull heavy.
2 outs, 2 on. And Davila steps off. Davila trying to finish this one of the 10th. And he does! What a finish! Nick Davila slams the door in 10 innings, and the Mariners win it 6-5, the final score in Baltimore.
I tell you what, Nick Davila, that emotion says it all. I mean, there's so many players to point to in this last inning. First of all, Randy Arozarena hitting that huge 2-run home run. Ryan Bliss in the shot right there in the circle with that catch right behind Josh Naylor. Then Pat Wisdom making that play. They tried to overturn it, but then Nick Davila getting that big out to Tyler O'Neill, burying that sinker under the hands to keep the lead in check, and the Mariners walk away after 10 with the W.
No exaggeration here. The biggest pitch of Nick Davila's life.
100%. Look at this. Just 95, just bowling ball, just in under the hands of Tyler O'Neill. Look how fired up he is, and for good reason. Not to mention the fact he probably just got off a red-eye flight all the way from the West Coast. Thrown to the Wolves. Picks up his first Major League save. Wow.
Whoever lost this game tonight would be hit in the shower saying we should have won that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Both sides, neck and neck, a game of inches on both sides. This was just an absolutely wild game, a wild first 2 games. Randy's leadoff home run in the top of the 10th is what helped seal the deal for the Mariners. Man, there's so much to cover from this one. There were multiple plays at the plate in this game. As we take you back to the 2nd inning before the lights turned on, it was Cole Young throwing out O'Neill at home plate just in the nick of time.
And being tested for the first time, taking over at shortstop because of the injuries. And Mitch Garver with a nice tag, but what about this play from Patrick Wisdom, having to throw around the runner, kept bearing down to third base. Mitch Garver again with the tag. They try and overturn it. The dirt was a saving grace. You can see the dirt flying up, covering that home plate. Wow, what a game.
Our Fire TV winning moment after a thriller from Camden Yards. Brad?
Watching the highlights here with Randy. DH today, so you get to see an incredible ball game. What was the 10th inning like for you, watching that whole inning unfold, the challenge, the play at the plate, trying to keep that lead?
Obviamente no estuviste en el campo, estuviste en DH, así que te tocó ver el partido aquí de la banca, pero ¿qué fue ver esta 10ª entrada del equipo peleando para lograr todo?
Sí, fue una entrada increíble, donde hubieron buenas jugadas por parte de la defensa, donde pudimos mantener la ventaja, y creo que también disfruté mucho de juego de poder estar hoy de DH, porque también se ve juego diferente, veo cómo pichaban los pitches, tanto de nosotros como de ellos, y fue un gran juego por parte de nosotros, y pudimos ganar la victoria.
Yeah, you know, an incredible game. Obviously watching it, a lot of great defensive plays from our team, able to keep that lead. But I think I was able to kind of enjoy it too, since I was the DH. Kind of enjoyed it as from the bench, and be able to watch the good pitching, not just from us, but their team too. So it was actually kind of special.
Hey, special for you too. 10th inning, Julio on second. A hit brings him in. You decide to walk him in with the home run. Tell us about taking that slider over the wall in right field.
Pero también algo especial, tú en esa 10ª entrada, Julio en la segunda base, y tú decides meter o traerlo a casa con un jonrón. Dinos un poco de ese slider, ¿no?, que pudiste llevarlo a un jonrón.
Bueno, traté de mover el corredor, no traté de hacer el swing de jonrón. Podía, si bateaba hacia la banda contraria, podía que Julio avanzara hacia tercera. Gracias a Dios salió jonrón, pero el plan que fui a ejecutar en home salió, que era tratar de mover el corredor, pero salió de jonrón y fue mejor para el equipo.
Yeah, you know, actually I went with the mentality of just trying to move the runner over to third. I was just thinking, you know, even if I just hit it going the opposite way, you know, I'll be able to move it. I wasn't actually trying to hit a home run, but luckily for me, you know, that swing was able to get the ball over the fence and be able to give us 2 runs.
Well, you've been doing that a lot this year. You come in with the trident. Here comes Julio singing with you. Los Locos. Is Julio getting better singing?
Obviamente lo has hecho mucho con el tridente, ahí con la guitarra y Julio cantando, la banda Los Locos. Sí. ¿Ha mejorado Julio cantando?
Sí, Julio es un cantante y también es el DJ. Ya sé que tenemos buena banda, la banda Los Locos, y por eso cada acción disfrutamos, y eso nos ayuda también para salir a jugar cada día, jugar siempre feliz y tratar de dar lo mejor de nosotros para ayudar al equipo.
yeah, you know, Julio's getting better at singing, but he's also DJing. So, you know, oh yeah, getting the banda los locos. So, you know, we're always bringing the good vibes, which always helps us, you know, get to play a little bit more relaxed, have a little more fun out there, and you know, we're just enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, it was a good win tonight. We appreciate the time, Randy and Freddie Llanos. Thank you for your help as well. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Randy and the guys getting it done in a dramatic fashion last night. Boy, there's our boy Craig from Richland. He got a bat and he got to see a big win. He was stressed a little bit, but boy, how about Nick Davila coming in today, activated today from Tacoma, and getting his first big league save, pitching in the 10th, getting it done with a big strikeout. He's fired up, so are we. Post game on the way.